everyone, it's Jonathan, and welcome to the final of our three-part miniseries on Disney Plus's Short Circuit. Today, Rachel and I are back one last time to talk about the second season of Short Circuit, covering all 6 episodes plus a missing, unreleased episode. And since these have already been pretty short, I decided to leave in one of our rabbit trails. About halfway through, we got off on a tangent talking about the recent state of Disney animation, the quality or lack thereof in several recent feature releases, as well as whether or not we think we're in a new era, past the revival that we had in the 2010s. Okay, the final 6.
Yes.
There's actually supposed to have been 7, but I think I'll wait and talk about the missing one at the end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not on Disney Plus, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Hmm.
What did you think of this batch?
I think this was a pretty good batch. I like that there were distinct different styles of animation for all of these.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I feel like more distinct than some of the others. You know, one of them has a stop motion look to it. One has a Saturday morning cartoon look, 2D. One looks sort of more like the Paperman hybrid style, and one looks sort of classic Pixar style.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real different animation style to each one of these, more so than I think some of the others. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, like with the last batch, there were so many that I felt like I wanted more of. But for the most part with these, I think they're mostly just good as shorts.
Yeah, they stand alone pretty well as shorts. Yeah.
There's a couple of kind of exceptions, but we'll get to them when we get there.
For me, the one exception would probably be Dinosaur Barbarian, just because it's basically like an intro to a television show.
Yeah. That was one of my 2 exceptions.
Yeah. That I'd like to see the actual show, you know?
Yes. Well, let's talk about Crosswalk first. This was directed by Ryan Green. And with this one, this was like 50-50 whether these animators still work at Disney or not. So Ryan Green does still work at Disney. He was head of story on Moana 2. And he was also story lead on Us Again, another connection to one of your favorites.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I love that one. And
he's been working at Disney since 2011, at least from his IMDb credit. Well, that's 2010 on... He started at Disney Toon Studios, so like his credits were kind of slightly confusing. It looked like he started at Disney Toon Studios in 2010 and worked there until 2013, and then he was moved over to Disney. Was 2013 when Disney Toon shut down?
No, I don't think it actually officially shut down until 2019.
Oh, okay.
Because I think the last film they made was the Planes, or maybe one of the Tinkerbell movies.
Okay.
The second Planes movie.
He worked on a bunch of the Tinkerbell stuff. His first IMDb credit was the Pixie Hollow games in 2011.
Yeah, the last Tinkerbell movie was 2015, so maybe it was a little earlier than I'm thinking. But I thought that they made an announcement at D23 the first time I went, which would have been, was that 2017? I think it might have been 2017. I can't remember. But anyway, but yeah, it was, so it might have been more like 2016, but the last movie I think they made was 2015.
Okay. I wish they had been able to finish their last Planes sequel, because that was the one I actually was looking forward to, and it was like going to be like about a space shuttle.
Yeah, the Jets one, because they showed that at D23.
How far did they get on that? Did it actually get finished and scrapped, or was it like mostly done?
I think that they had just the teaser. Yeah. Let's see here. Disney Toons. Yeah, so it was 2017 that they announced at D23, 2017. And then right after that was when John Lasseter got ousted, and then they officially closed in June of 2018.
Okay.
So anyway,
I couldn't remember the timeline. I've never been like a huge fan of Disney Toon Studios, but they made some good stuff. So they were kind of a mixed bag, but I wish they would have continued in some form.
Yeah, I mean, the cheap quills were, a stain on them.
I know.
Really bad, but for the most part, there's a couple that are decent. But a Goofy movie is special. That's by far the best thing they ever made.
Yeah, I wish they could have kept on doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Ryan Green, he has done a lot of animation. Like he was head of story on Moana 2. He's listed as the director for Frozen 4,
Oh,
which
wow.
sometimes I don't know whether I feel like I should take a lot of like far off stuff with a grain of salt on IMDb because you never know.
Yeah, that is a ways off because we haven't gotten three yet. So,
Yeah, so I don't know why it says that, but
hmm.
interesting, I guess.
Yeah, good for him if that proves to be the case.
Hmm. I also thought it was interesting. He animated the beginning of this one himself because the beginning was like a 2D storyboard type intro. It was animated, but it was like storyboard sketches. But he was a storyboard artist, so it made sense that he would do that himself.
Yeah. And this one is the one that's the most Pixar-y to me.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a little different than what you normally think of with Pixar, but like if you think of like their shorts, this feels like one of their more cartoony type shorts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, their shorts have some 2D animation in them. And
Oh, that's true.
yeah, so I think you could easily see this as a Pixar short.
Hmm.
You know, things like the Umbrella one or Night and Day.
Yeah.
There's different ones.
Well, this one is one of the, like, they're all very simple stories, but this one is pretty simple. It's a guy at a crosswalk wanting to go across, but the light won't let him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting where he said he got this idea from. He was just thinking of, like, in his own life being stopped at stoplights and thinking back, like, what his ancestors would think of him, not being able to move because a sign told him.
Yeah, where there's nothing
Hmm.
in the coming or going. Yeah, so it was kind of a one joke little, 2 minute short, but it was pleasant. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cute. It was
Funny.
sometimes with these shorts, it feels like we could have used like a minute longer, but this one felt kind of perfect. Like this was the
Hmm.
perfect length for this
Yeah.
story.
And then when he gets over and he sees, left my briefcase on it. That's funny. That's a good coda for the story. It's funny.
Yes. One random thing that I really liked was the pigeon. I liked how the pigeon was
Yeah.
animated.
Yeah, that was funny. And I mean, crosswalk jokes are often quite funny. My favorite one of all time is in What's Up, Doc? It's a brilliant scene where it's one of my favorite comedies, but these workers are bringing this piece of glass across the road. And you think that, the cars, because it's just got all these crazy chases and stuff happening, is going to crash into the glass, right?
Hmm.
But like, it's so brilliantly directed because the minute that you think it's going to happen, nope, 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 and it just draws that joke out so long, and then finally what happens with the glass is very funny, and so there's lots of examples of like that with this kind of humor in a lot of different films. It's very funny.
Yeah, I thought this was a good execution of a simple idea. It was really well
Uh,
done.
yeah.
Well, the next one is Going Home by Jacob Frey.
Uh-huh.
And he's a German who moved to the US to become an animator. And this one, he said, was inspired by going back to his hometown in Germany. And every time he goes back, everything is just a little bit different.
Yeah, this is the one that has the hybrid sort of Paperman inspired
Mm, yeah.
animation.
Hmm. And this is another animator who, as far as I could tell, still works at Disney. And he's directed other shorts, and I think that his shorts directing may be what got him his job at Disney. Because at least from different things I was seeing online, it looked like there was a short called The Present, and people that worked on that were picked up by different studios, and I
Mm,
think that might have been what caught Disney's attention for him.
interesting.
But this was a really well done short. This one I would not say is a fun short. Like for when this first started, I was like, okay, I like the design of this. It's simple. It's a guy walking through town and things around him are like changing. And then by the end, it becomes like really emotional because it's not just the town that's changing, it's his family and you can see his parents like rapidly aging as he's walking up the walk. And then by the time he gets to the house, only his mom is left. And then she disappears. It's like, this is really tragic. but it's real and
Yeah.
it's really well done.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a very pretty, well done short.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that they didn't leave it off on a tragic note. They showed that he's married and has a child of his own too.
Yeah.
So it
But
wasn't fully tragic, but
it captures that experience though of kind of going home
yeah,
and just how weird that can feel.
yeah.
You feel like you're like an alien, and yet it's this place that feels so comforting too. It's a
Hmm.
weird dynamic.
Yeah. Well, the next one is number two to Kettering, directed by Liza Ray. This is one of the animators that no longer works at Disney. She's at DreamWorks now.
Mm.
And compared to some of the other animators, she didn't work at Disney too long. She was only there for a little over 5 years, and she was a modeler. So she built the 3D things. Like I think part of it was environmental modeling, but I think she also built like the people
Mm.
and props.
Well, that's interesting because this one has that. This is the one that has that
Yes.
stop motion
What I
feel.
also thought was interesting is she didn't leave Disney for DreamWorks. She left for Leica. And as I was watching this, I was like, this feels almost like Leica.
Did she just leave?
She left for Leica in 2023, but I think she might have just left for one movie because it looked like she was going to work on.
Because she was just on Moana 2.
Yes, she worked at Disney till they went to set up the Vancouver studio, and she moved over there and worked as their environmental modeling supervisor for Moana 2, and then left for Leica in 2023.
Oh, okay.
And I think she might have just been there for one movie because she now works at DreamWorks. So she
Huh.
worked on the Wildwood film. I don't know
Oh,
what
that
that one's
hasn't come out
about.
yet.
Yeah. So she worked on that and then moved to DreamWorks.
Cool. Good for her.
But
That's
she
great.
actually worked at DreamWorks years ago. So she went from DreamWorks to Disney to Leica to back to DreamWorks.
Oh, yeah, in their television department.
Hmm.
Huh. Cool.
The most interesting thing that I found out about her was that she, like, her first job, at least on LinkedIn, was a puppet builder for the Royal Opera House. And she's actually from England. Apparently, she helped build like a giant swan puppet for a production of Swan Lake. And I thought it was interesting that she went from building physical puppets to digital ones in computer animation.
Hmm.
I'd never thought about it before, but I guess in some ways that would be a transferable skill.
Yeah, I guess it says on her website, I'm currently senior CG environmental artist at Leica
Yeah,
and based in LA.
I think she just left for DreamWorks, at least according to LinkedIn. So she hasn't
Interesting.
updated her website yet.
Ah. Huh. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, in this, it like I said, it had that
Hmm.
stop motion quality to it. It's not so much. It's computer, but
Yeah,
there's that aesthetic, and you can see why Leica would
yeah.
be interested in her. That makes sense. And I liked this one. It was nice. It was cute.
Yeah, it was another simple story. It's a little girl getting on a bus and everything around her is gray and everybody's in a bad mood and it starts transferring to her.
Yeah, and she decides to smile.
Yes. And then she brightens up the whole bus.
Yeah, which is sweet. And the number two to Kettering, that's the bus. Yeah, in England.
But yeah, another simple story but well done.
That was a nice one. Yeah.
Well, the next one is one that is probably one of my favorites, but like we said earlier, I kind of want more. This is Dinosaur Barbarian by director Kim Hazel. And this is basically like an opening theme song to like an 80s cartoon show
Yeah.
because she likes that kind of thing.
Like He-Man or G.I. Joe or that kind of show.
Yeah, she said she would listen to like those songs to pump her up. She'd just watch the intros, so she wanted to make her own. But like, I kind of want the whole show now.
Yeah. And so she's working, it looks like now for Netflix.
Yes, she's head of character animation at Netflix.
Oh,
And
very
she's been
cool.
there a while. It looked like she probably left not long after this short was released.
Oh, yeah.
She worked on movies from Big Hero 6 through to Strange World before
Oh, but
leaving
it
for
does, maybe
Netflix.
she's freelance because it does show
I
her
wondered
on
that.
Zootopia 2. She's on there.
Yeah, that was another case where I was like, okay, maybe she's kind of going back and forth, but also maybe grain of salt with IMDb.
Yeah,
Sometimes you never
maybe.
know.
Yeah, it looks like she is freelance because she was on a bunch of Disney films, but then she was Penguins of Madagascar, Rock Dog, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
I've
So
noticed with a lot of these animators, they don't always stick with one studio. They kind of bounce around, maybe out of
yeah, I
necessity, but
mean,
also just different
yeah,
experiences.
which is not uncommon in Hollywood. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what actors, that's what cinematographer, most of the talent in Hollywood are not married to a studio.
Hmm.
So,
But I really liked the look of this one. The whole short was
yeah,
2D animated, but
it was fun.
not just 2D animated. It was traditionally hand drawn 2D
Yeah.
animated, which is very rare these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
But it was really well done. It was just like a He-Man type character but even more
And they have the
goofy.
theme song and everything.
Yeah, he's just going around fighting bad guys, and in a world where he also has to pay an electric bill and he forgets, and now he doesn't have electricity in his house.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then, like, there's a princess that he maybe is into, but she thinks he stinks, like, literally stinks because he doesn't shower, so he has to, like, improve himself. It's a really good idea for a
Yeah,
cartoon
it's
series.
fun.
I would really like to have more of this.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the best of these short circuit.
Yeah, they're very fun.
Hmm.
My other one that I feel like there could be more here, in the same way that I felt with, what was it, Zenith in the last batch, Songs
Huh.
to Sing in the Dark by Rhiannon Delanoy. This is another one that it felt like a piece of a larger movie. Like it could go into a Fantasia if you added some more of
Yeah,
this.
it kind of reminded me of the beginning of Fantasia with the sound,
Mm, yeah.
with I forget what they call that one, but with the lines, and the sound.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this is kind of like an animal version of that. Because
Hmm.
it's these little creatures that not only communicate through sound, because this is supposed to be like a world that is completely dark, but the sound is also like armor and camouflage and holograms that these creatures use.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting idea for a short that I
It
felt
kind of
like,
reminded me of like what you see of like footage of the deep, 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 deep ocean,
mm, yeah,
that have that sort of it's not fluorescent, there's like a word for it. Phosphor, like
bioluminescent.
yeah, yeah, that's the word. That's the word. That kind of look to it. That's what this kind of looked like to me.
Yeah, it does. I didn't think of that, but you're right. It does look like that.
Yeah.
It's such a cool visual style, and I just feel like this could be more. Like I want more of this world. I want this to be part of a new Fantasia. I just want a new Fantasia.
Yeah. It's such a shame because I really felt like when they first announced Disney Plus, my optimism and Netflix and everything else,
Hmm.
my optimism was like this will be a great place that they can do stuff like that
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have the overhead expense of the theaters taking a cut and the expense of DVD releases, and so everything would just be less risk, so you could
Hmm.
do more. That was my hope, that you could do more and be more experimental, but instead it's just become a way of like, I feel like streaming has just become a dumping ground for mediocrity
Yeah.
instead of something that was adding to. I feel like it's literally taking stuff away from us.
Hmm.
And so that's been disappointing.
Yeah. I felt the same way.
I was naive to think so, but that was my hope.
Yeah.
It's a shame that this series only lasted 2 seasons because I would love if they were continually cultivating talent.
I
And
know.
it's frustrating to watch these and be like, what did they do with any of these people? Like, hardly anything.
Well, this director doesn't work there anymore either. She now works at Valve, which is a video game
Oh,
studio.
oh, I could see that.
Yeah, this does feel like maybe if you tweaked this idea a bit, this could be the beginning of a video game, like using sound as a
Yeah,
way to maneuver around a world.
yeah,
But yeah, I just love the imagination of this one.
yeah. Yeah, this one was the colors and just the vibes of it were really cool.
Yes, yes, definitely. I was trying to think of what my favorite of the shorts would be. It might be tied between Dinosaur Barbarian and Songs to Sing in the Dark because they're both so different, but I love the imagination behind them.
Of these, six or just
Of these
total?
six, I haven't. I probably should have thought about it for all of them.
I'm trying to think which one was my favorite of all of them. Hmm. They're all pretty cute.
They're all so different. It is hard to like.
It's fun. I love animated shorts.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I probably my favorite just now, I would probably say Hair Jitsu. That was funny. I really liked the animation, but there's not really a bad one, I don't think.
No.
So it'd be challenging. I like Jing Her. That one was really good.
Hmm.
Um,
I feel like my favorite batch of these were in the last episode.
yeah, that was a good batch.
I really like Drop,
Yeah,
Zenith,
that was cute.
The Elephant in the Room, Fetch.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were a lot of good ones in the last batch. I mean, all of these. There's
Yeah.
there's so much imagination in all of these.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's frustrating. It's like, why do we get these short little glimpses of talent and ideas and then we get Strange World and we get Wish? Like, what is happening? Like, come on. Come on.
I think it probably just comes down to studio leadership. I don't
Yeah,
think
I mean,
they're
I think so
nurturing the
too.
talent. They're trying to go after whatever they think is going to make them the most money,
Yeah.
and they're frequently wrong.
Just feel very frustrated. It's like, well, we're going to just repeat what we've already done, whether it's a sequel or a remake, and then we're going to anything original that we actually try to release is just going to be a copy. It's just frustrating to me, at least. You are the wealthiest studio. You are the studio that has so much talent,
Hmm.
such a legacy, and to see you settle for this mediocrity is very frustrating. And I keep waiting for them because they go through these cycles as a studio, Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney as a company. They go through these cycles, in like the 80s was a low point. Then we had the Renaissance. And then the 2000s, that was pretty bad, except for Pixar. That was pretty bad. And then we came out of it with the revival. Yeah. And then we've been in a low spot for quite a while. And I was like, when are we going to turn the corner? Like, what is going to happen?
I've been feeling like we're in another, I don't know what do you want to call it, generation since they started doing sequels.
Yep.
Like I think the first sequel was the down point. Like even though it wasn't
Yeah,
bad, I
I
think
agree.
I think it was the step down the ladder. They're going down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like there's no question, like with the exception of Encanto.
Yep.
I mean, Raya had some interesting things about it. I didn't hate it,
I
but
liked Raya, but it's forgettable. Like
yeah,
I've forgotten a lot of it because it just wasn't one that I really wanted to go back and rewatch. Is I've probably watched it the one time in the theater, and
yeah, I
that was
liked
it.
it for certain things, the action, I mean, and the animation, but the ending was so odd. It's like you need to trust this person. Why should she trust that person? It was very weird. The person literally betrayed her. Why should she trust her? It was very weird. But I mean, I like Frozen 2 was a mixed bag. Like they've had films that were decent in this period, but as far as a studio, yeah, it's been pretty I agree with you. Like ever since they started doing the sequels, it just has been with the exception of Encanto, I think it's been pretty weak. I
Hmm.
mean, you get to the point where they make their big 100th anniversary movie and it's a huge bomb, disaster, not even in the conversation for best animated film. That's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
I don't know. They just are in this cycle and they need somebody to come in there with some inspiration. When Lasseter and Catmull took over, they talk about in the book, and of course you have to take it with a grain of salt because it's their book and everything, but they talk about just how depressed everybody was, and they had like very uncreative workspaces, and everything was very like blank and empty, and he was just like, what is happening? And if you watch Chicken Little, you feel that. You feel like this is a depressing movie. These people are not in a good place that are making this movie. It's very negative. It's very, you just can tell. And then they go in there. What's the next movie? Meet the Robinsons, which has its flaws, but it is overall way more positive. Yeah, we're moving forward. We're positive. And if you know anything about Pixar, they have these incredibly elaborate, individual, unique workspaces that they each have, the animators. And so, like for Lasseter and Catmull to go in there and just see these to look, it looks like the Jack Lemmon walking into the apartment with these desks and adding machines. But so you can see in the work, in my opinion, at least, you can see the status of a lot of the animators at the time. Like I said, with Chicken Little, even Home on the Range is pretty cynical of a movie, and so then they started working on it, and you immediately see this change over and more hope, more positivity, more. And so I guess this is what I'm wondering is when are we going to see? So I think we talked about last that Jared Bush is now head of Disney Animation. So
Yeah.
what is he going to do to crawl out of this? I mean, is Zootopia 2 going to do it? That's his baby. That was his movie, the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I feel like Zootopia 2 has that potential because there's so much in that world that they can do. But my worry is that they will lean into another allegory. And I think that would be a big, big mistake. I think it should just be a mystery. Just have it be a mystery that they're looking into because you already did it. You did the allegory. It was perfect for 2016. We all needed, that message at that time, 2016. But I feel like that would be a big mistake to do that again. I don't know. I mean, it's possible it could be good, but I that would be my advice to them. Don't feel like you need to have an allegory for this one just because you had one and it was successful for the last one. I think it would be great if it's just Judy and Nick solving a mystery.
Yeah, definitely. I guess it depends on when this was greenlit and who greenlit it and why. Because, if they're doing it because they want to recreate the success of Zootopia, right down to doing everything that Zootopia did again because they want to make more Zootopia money, then I don't have exactly high hopes. But if it was greenlit because they had a good idea for a story and they presented it in such a way that's like, this makes sense to make another movie, then I have higher hopes. But if it was a studio decision, like, we need more Zootopia money, then I'm like, meh.
Yeah, agreed. And it looks like Jared Bush, he's the writer on this one. He was a co-director on the last one. He's a writer he has a writing credit on this new one. So that will be interesting.
Yeah. I'm hoping that with new leadership, the company will start going in a better direction.
I hope so. We need it. We need it. The world is better with a thriving, creative, exciting Disney. I'm not a Disney hater. I love a good Disney film. I love a Disney film that
we both have Disney podcasts. We're not Disney haters.
No, there's nothing that I would like more than to go to a Disney film and feel that magic that they can provide as a studio and as a brand. But lately it's either been or I already saw that before. Why should I be that excited about seeing? And it's not like, okay, so you remade something that, was from 50, they made something that was like in this century. Like, okay, that's ridiculous. I don't know. I just want to feel the Disney magic. I love it. Come on.
Yeah, me too.
If you need help, Disney, we're available. We can help you.
I could be a consultant on what kinds of things to make because I have lots of ideas for especially adaptations. Like, obviously I love adaptations. I have a whole podcast about it. I've got so many ideas for things books that have never been made into movies.
Yeah. What would be your pitch of something not adapted by Disney, at least, that you say they should do? I know it's spur of the moment.
I mean, spur of the moment, but the first thing that popped into my mind, maybe because I was just thinking about it because we talked about it in a podcast, not you and I, but somebody else that I was just editing, but Pippi Longstocking That was a
Okay.
book I
Yeah,
loved growing up. I
I
loved
could
Pippi
see that.
Longstocking. I don't think Disney has ever touched the story.
I think there's an anime, I think.
Yeah, different
Yeah,
studios
yeah.
have made, like, all around the world, different people have
Yeah,
done
yeah.
different
But
versions,
not Disney.
but Disney's never done it. I
Yeah, I
think
can
that
see
could be a
that. That
good
could be
one.
fun. That could be fun. Well, I've said for a long time that there's this little novel called The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle about this a Victorian girl who ends up on this pirate ship through various, she ends up becoming a pirate. Like that to me just screams Disney animation. Like
Mm,
I can't believe that it's never been made into a film because it was like a Newbery Award winner. It's like a big, it was a popular book. It's been started a bunch of times, but I also think that Barbie did it, but I'd love to see Disney's take on the 12 Dancing Princesses.
mm,
And
yeah,
it seems like a no-brainer because it would be such an easy way to bring in diversity because you could have the princesses from different, adopted and stuff. And you could have 12 princesses. I mean, you could sell so much.
yeah, that is definitely true. Disney would like that.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It would be huge.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah. But it's just, I guess it's frustrating when you see these films and the other ones that we did, the Spark Shorts for Pixar. It's like this talent is here. You either have it or had it.
hmm,
And why aren't we seeing that in the features? What's going on?
yeah.
Let's do it. That's my feeling.
Another one that came to mind is another one that technically Disney has already done it, but one of my favorite books growing up was A Wrinkle in Time. I want an animated version of A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, I think that A Wrinkle in Time, though, I think you got to make it a series. You
Mm.
can't. I just think
That's not a bad idea, actually.
there's so much going on in that book.
There
Like
is.
you need like an entire episode just for the it. You need an entire episode for the witches. It's just too much for a movie. You
You're
can't.
right. I stand corrected. I would love an animated series,
Yeah,
maybe for Disney Plus, but they probably won't ever do it. But I just want an animated version of that story.
yeah.
There's just so much imagination there.
And the Christian themes are essential to the story. You cannot secularize A Wrinkle in Time. What it's trying to say about the value of the individual and their meaning to God is essential to the whole story, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think. I guess she was a universalist, which is a branch of Christianity. I was thinking there was
Yeah.
a different, I don't remember what I was thinking, but I guess universalist is the correct denomination, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway,
I know what you mean.
We have one more to talk about, don't we?
Yes, we got off on a rabbit
Sorry.
trail.
You can cut all of that if you want. Yeah, one more.
Reflect by Hilary
Yes.
Bradfield.
This one was really cute. I liked it.
This one reminded me of, it's not exactly the same, but you know who Lindsay Sterling is, right?
Uh-huh.
Her Shatter Me song, which
Mm,
was about her battle with anorexia, but it was about a ballerina who was trapped in a snow globe and needed to be shattered in order to escape the mindset that she was in, which this was kind of like that. Not
yeah.
exactly the same, but it just, as soon as it started happening, I was like, this is like Shatter Me.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she talked about in the intro about how she thinks that she's so confident,
Hmm.
and then something will hit her and be like, "Oh, I'm really not," like
Yeah.
that it can ebb and flow, I think.
Hmm.
I like that with the character too.
Yeah. And also how she talked about, like, for her, like, on principle, she wants to be a very body positive person, but when it comes to herself,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
holding herself to a completely different standard than she holds anybody else, that also rings true.
yeah, definitely.
But I really like the design on this one with how she was dancing in this dark mirrored world. And this was another one that felt like it could potentially fit into a Fantasia like film, but I think this one is perfect as is. Like, it was the perfect length for what it wanted to do. I don't feel like it needs to be added to or changed in any way. It just was good as it was.
Yeah.
And this Hillary Bradfield is another one who does still work at Disney. She's been a storyboard artist for about almost 8 years, I think.
Yeah. Give her something to do.
Yeah.
Disney. Let's do it. You got all these talented women too.
Yes, they
What's going
do.
on?
Let them out for a little bit. You could have a little short, but then go back and do your behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
No, they need more to do. They have so many creative ideas.
Almost all of these are women,
Yeah, I was
except
just
for
thinking that the four out of the
well,
six.
yeah. So let's see what they can do.
Well, there is another short from this series, A Kite's Tale by Bruce Wright. And this short premiered at, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Sigograph.
Oh yeah, Sigraph.
But like he said that it was a short circuit short, but I'm wondering if it was not released because it was another VR one. And maybe it didn't translate into something to only watch on a screen. But like the images that I was seeing, it felt like there was a story here that could, like if you, like I don't know exactly how VR works, but if you went into the VR program and filmed just one, I don't know, view of what was happening, because it's about two kites, like a puppy kite and a dragon kite, who they're like fighting because they get tangled together and then they have to like get untangled and they become friends. Probably another really short thing like these, but it looked like something that could be a regular short if you just tweaked it a little bit. Because, like, I don't know exactly how or why it was made strictly for VR, but
I feel like I remember hearing about this. Maybe I even saw it at D23. I feel like I've seen this before somewhere. That would have been 2019 when I was at D23, so it's possible I saw it there.
maybe. Because, like, they were playing it, like, it premiered at Sigograph. So they were playing it outside of Disney Plus, but
Yeah.
they didn't keep going with it.
I bet it was D23 is where I saw it. Yeah, SIGGRAPH, I mean, it's famous because it's basically where Pixar got its start. That's where they first released Tin Toy
Oh, really?
and Luxor and all those. Yeah, it was all at SIGGRAPH.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like this animator does still work at Disney. He's been there a while. He worked on Paperman too. Oh, he goes way back. He worked on Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. That's how far back his Disney credits go in '97.
Huh.
So he's been there a while.
Interesting.
But yeah, that one I looked everywhere to try and find it because I was like, if this exists online, we should watch it and talk about it. But I could not find it. I saw somebody somewhere say, "Oh, you can find this one on the Toy Story 4 DVD." I was like, "Oh, I have that." So I looked through all of the discs. It was not on there. They lied.
Yeah. So, interesting.
But yeah, it would be nice to see that someday, but I guess depending on how it was created is going to determine whether or not it actually gets put on Disney Plus.
Well, there we go. We did it. We talked about all the short circuit.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. We'll have to do some more shorts at some point. There's plenty of other Disney shorts we could do, or even non-Disney ones, but
Yeah, that's true. They have those animated short collections.
and Disney's
That are a lot of
Pixar
fun.
shorts. Like there's some of the
Yeah,
early
that
Pixar
too.
shorts I've never actually watched. I should watch. So that would be a good idea for a
True.
podcast in the future too.
Yeah, I love shorts. So,
Yeah.
all right. Sounds good.
Well, we will be in touch about something in the future. But until then, would you like to let people know where they can find you if they would like more podcasts from you?
Yeah. Yeah, you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over the place. Check that out. And I have basically monthly Talking Disney Classics episodes. And then also I'm at the Hallmarkies podcast. So check that out. And thanks so much.
And depending on when this goes up, by the time you listen to this, I'll probably be on an episode of your podcast as well.
Yes.
Talking about the just released Lilo and Stitch. Just released as the time of this recording, depending on when
Yes.
this goes up. But Lilo and Stitch releases today as we are recording officially.
Yes.
So we will be talking about that on your podcast.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, we will see you then.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and follow my co-hosts as well. My link tree and all of our links will be in the description below. If you want more of my content, all my podcasts are available on YouTube as well as most podcast platforms. If you enjoyed this show, check out one of the other podcasts or check out my Patreon for bonus and extended episodes you won't find anywhere else. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, so thanks for listening and we'll see you next time.